Dude, let's have a Pocus chat.
That was just joking. I
I can't wait till your wife sees that part.
I was just saying that to make it better fantasy.
Oh
Anyway,
god damn.
no,
Oh my
but hands
goodness.
down, that's
That's
the best
amazing.
Phantom. I genuinely think that if this Phantom, this ultrasound Phantom, there is a massive sort of work and business out there that if you can come up with various phantoms. Now, the
Yeah.
phantom that you want to do is things like the nerve blocks. Those
Yeah, dude.
uh, well, I think you need to kind of think about that. These are, I mean, you start the ones that you've got with the vascular access. Obviously, they're fairly simple though.
Yeah, oh dude, it's just a
As far as
whole
it goes,
it's literally an empty hole inside of gel, right? And that's all it
that's
takes.
it.
Yeah.
But what you want to do is, in terms of the nerve blocks, let's say, you if you think about it, we kind of started talking about it. You can really make some, I think, some really nice phantoms.
For
Uh,
sure.
and
But the
yeah,
challenge is substantial, right? Like, I mean, because like, what are you really trying to accomplish, right? So you need to have a distinct structure that looks like a nerve and runs for a certain period of space, right? You need to make sure that that ends up in like sandwiched inside certain things, but you don't want it so that it's such an easily accessible potential space that like it doesn't take any effort because as soon as you inject, if you're in the spot, it'll just like flood up and like that's it. It's not really going to hold. So, but like the whole point is being able to mimic that hydrodissection, which
yeah,
is a hard thing to mimic, right? Like, I mean, unless you're actually doing something like this where you like embed that inside a gel that you mold around it that actually pours and sets around it, there's really no way to mimic that. And even then, you're still faced with the issue of like, there's still kind of like a fascial plane around it that you're shooting for, right? Like it'll hydrodissect, like it, you can infiltrate muscle tissue, and that's one thing, but that's not really the same thing, right? Like when you really hydrodissect around a nerve,
yeah.
that's a really special kind of like anatomic space that you don't really. That's just hard to mimic. It's almost impossible, I would say. Um,
Yeah,
I've come across a couple of different options, but like they're none of them have been particularly spectacular.
so let me
It,
show you let me just quickly send you this, and then
yeah.
in fact, let's see how I can share this because I put this on Twitter the other time.
Ooh.
So if I go in, hang on, sorry, I'm gonna now share my screen because I want to show you
Oh
this.
please. I'm
Uh,
pulling up Twitter to look at your feed and see what I missed somehow. I can't
yeah,
believe I did, but
I
hey.
think I think it was from our teaching in December when we were teaching our trainees. So let
Uh-huh.
me just go back to very quickly go back to the right. Hang on. Right. Okay. Here we go. So let me share that. Can
Dang,
you
dude, you tweet a lot.
can
I
you
was looking back, I'm like scroll, and I'm like, I'm only 4 days in. Like, are you kidding me?
can you see this?
Oh, see, now I'm jealous of your screen. What the heck is that? Is that a PX?
Yeah.
Oh, cough, man. What? Come on. You know what I use at work? Do you know what I use at
No,
work right
no,
now?
no. Hang on. Let me
I
tell you
use
so.
no
This
no
is
no
what
no no. I use a Sonosite. I use a Sonosite Edge 2, and that is a massive upgrade because what I used before when I was doing fellowship, and the reason I upgraded to a Philips Lumify to get better card image was I was working with an original M Turbo and the original Edge. That is my bet. Like, screw off with all your PX fanciness, you nonsense. You kidding me right now?
But hang on, I thought you
Oh,
guys got the dollars. I thought you guys would be.
yeah, they do in the like Department of Surgery. We were in the Department of Surgery, Division of Emergency Medicine, subdivision of Office of like Emergency Ultrasound, which is literally when it started, just me and my fellowship director. There's no one else. Oh man, they have like they apparently they just bought like a couple of venues and stuff, which is like super awesome. But like I was so jealous, and also like part of the reason we like went for this particular uh, grant funding was because it was like 200 grand in grant funding, which is obviously a huge deal, but also a free venue to use in the research. And we're like, that's the one we want that.
Oh man,
No,
sorry.
anyway, sorry, go ahead.
I honestly
Um,
didn't realize. I didn't realize. I thought you guys are sort of, um, I don't know, like
Nah, dude. Depends. It's
hobbies.
very disparate. It's very disparate. Like our main in my current job, our main facility has a um has the big bear sauna site. The equivalent to the Spark, the export.
Yeah, export.
They have like an export, and then they have a couple of S nerves or S abdomens
S2,
or whatever they call them.
S2.
Yeah, yeah, they have the S2 thing, which is set up for like the fast exam and the trauma bay. And then in our remote facility, we've got a an Edge 2, and they've got a similar one upstairs in the ICU that they don't really use a whole lot. Um, we're angling for something new. We have a butterfly now as like a secondary device that I use a fair
Yeah,
amount for like, but I mean I mostly use it for like um I use it for primarily either lines that are like off the floor or for COVID patients, just because it's so much more convenient to bring into a COVID PUI room and like not have to scrub the entire thing. But honestly, like you can also just like detach the edge, which is like part of the nice thing about the sauna sites is that they're modular by and large, and also they're like drop tested, like military spec drop
yeah,
tested.
they
So
are.
like, you know
That
what I
is
mean?
a
Like that's
good.
the whole point is that they're bomb proof, right? Like that's why they were designed like that. So yeah,
They
you can just like
replace
detach the whole
everything.
thing.
They
Yeah,
replace
yeah.
everything
So I
5 years, don't they? Like you don't pay for anything. Like if you drop,
yeah, and
replace
also yeah,
or
that's the
whatever.
thing. Their
That's
customer
that.
service has always been top notch for sure. So they'll replace like almost any part that busts on it, and that's been a really nice aspect of it. But yeah, I just like take the whole thing apart, slap a linear probe
And
into
then
the
take it
universal
in.
connector at the bottom, and just take the laptop and the probe in with
Yeah,
me. That way, I don't have to
that
just
makes sense.
disinfect the cart. Yeah. Well,
That
anyway, so yeah, so what do you got going
well,
on here?
so this is our to be published, the model that I was talking about. So what
Yeah, yeah.
this is part of our training. So um, just see what happens.
Oh wow, dude, that's impressive. That's a really impressive phantom, man. You guys have hit something really big there. That looks super, super
So
nice.
you see that? You see that top there?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Dots.
yeah.
Dots.
Is
So the
this water
panel,
that you're infiltrating in?
yeah. And
You
these
should,
are
yeah,
these
you should.
are the vessels.
That's super cool. You should definitely try that with oil and see how well it goes. Because I can see it like it opens
Ah,
up that space and then it
I'll try
immediately
it.
kind of collapses. But I'll bet you it would be a little bit more viscous. I mean, you could also use like viscous lidocaine or like whatever else. You could use
Ah,
like some kind of like thickened gel or whatever. But I'll bet you it would stick in a little bit better. And it wouldn't like diffuse as rapidly through that
all
potential
right. I'll
space.
try that. Thank you for that. That I
Yeah,
definitely
yeah, for sure. That's
haven't
such a
tried.
good idea though. That's such an impressive phantom, dude. I'm so impressed.
Cheers, dude. I'm writing it up at the moment. So hopefully,
December
I'll-
9th, 2020, man, that's got to have more than 5 likes and one retweet. Come on, dude. I got to go on there. That's so cool. Like that deserves better money. That's amazing.
yeah. So anyway, but you're right. But then all I'm going to tell you is that this is not made out of gel. It's made out of
Right. I was
something
gonna
else.
say.
So it's
Nice.
we'll come back to that at some point. Uh,
Presumably the flesh of abandoned babies in some Dickensian orphanage, right? Like if I'm assuming what I should assume based on my knowledge of the United Kingdom, that's my fundamental understanding of your country is that's what that we need to have some better sharing of cultural knowledge. I feel like there's a lot of assumptions going back and forth about each other's countries.
but yeah, so I think in terms of phantoms, I honestly think there's a massive sort of research
Yeah,
opportunity market out there where
for sure.
if you find something, it'll be brilliant. Then you can really do different, especially with nerve blocks and compartment blocks. I think you can really
Yeah,
sort of come up with ways of doing having models where it represents and it feels real. And then so once you do that as a simulation, then hopefully once somebody gets enough practice, then you can sort of take it to the next level, and then sort of
For
supervise
sure.
them, and then and get them to that kind of competence in independent practice eventually. That
Basically.
is crazy, by the way.
It's pretty
That
dope, right?
is
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, it's so amazing. So